everyone, this is My Two Cents. Today we're again going to be looking at Lindsay, the sexually ambiguous woman who is at it again, poisoning children's minds by trying to confuse them and convince them that playing make-believe somehow changes reality. Before we begin, Lindsay, I'd like to remind you that I identify as a magic unicorn, and my preferred pronoun is His Royal Majesty, the Emperor of Narnia. You must ensure that every aspect of your life conforms to my chosen identity. This was a relatively short video, but a great example of just how deluded Lindsay's thinking is. I guess Teddy got left in its cage for this one. Let's get into it.
Hey there, I'm Lindsay. Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff. Today I wanted to talk about a bit of an update on my identity. Queer Kid Stuff. You are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff. We've been talking a lot recently about different parts of our identity in our series on privilege.
Yeah, and like every other SJW libtard video on privilege, you've managed to make society just a little bit dumber.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my identity. I hope that talking about my identity with you can help you figure out some things about your identity.
Well, Lindsay, my identity involves many things about who I am and where I come from. But I'll tell you one thing about my identity that I am absolutely certain about. There is a penis hanging between my legs and not a vagina. I'm also certain that if I stop believing in that fact tomorrow morning, it will nonetheless be true.
I've talked about my identity before, like how I identify as queer and as white and as Jewish and as a cisgender woman.
But then I suppose all it will take is a little mental agility and suddenly you'll identify as a tractor, and as black, and as German, and as a magic unicorn. Hey, easy, Lindsay. Now don't you go stealing my identity.
Well, I actually wanted to talk about that last one, my gender. Up until now, I've always identified as being a cisgender woman who uses she pronouns.
And since the moment you were conceived, you've had XX chromosomes in every cell in your body. Tell me, Lindsay, has identifying as a boy ever caused you to grow a penis? Or better yet, has identifying as a bird ever stopped you from falling when you decided to jump off a cliff?
But recently, I've actually been questioning this part of my identity.
Really? Are you somehow confused about what's in between your legs?
I'm not totally sure anymore if I'm a cisgender woman.
Well, Lindsay, if what you and those of your ilk say about gender is true, you should never be sure of what gender you are. Gender can magically change at any moment. In fact, wouldn't you agree that I could go from being a magic unicorn to a woman, to a tractor, to a Pokemon, and back to a magic unicorn all in the same day? Gender has nothing to do with biology, right? It's only about a person's frame of mind.
This is something I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I'm still kind of figuring it out. That's just sort of how I feel.
Yeah, kind of like how if you stop feeling like gravity exists, you'll start to float off the ground.
And I wanted to share that with you. I'm starting to use she and they pronouns with my friends and family, and a new word that I think maybe describes how I'm feeling.
Lindsay, you are free to call yourself whatever you want, but you can't force me to live in your fantasy world. I'll call you whatever the heck I want. And you know what? If you genuinely believe you've got your identity all figured out, it shouldn't bother you that other people don't accept it. That's one thing I've never understood. If later today someone told me that I was a woman, I'd laugh and not give it a second thought. I know what I am, and nothing anyone else says can change it, so it doesn't bother me. Why do SJWs get so triggered when other people don't recognize their chosen identity? Might it be because in their heart of hearts they know that their beliefs can't really change reality?
That word is non-binary. And I'm going to talk about what that word means with Teddy in Season 3.
Well, whatever it means, I'll tell you one thing. It will not change what chromosomes you have or what's between your legs.
I'm also thinking about words like gender nonconforming and gender queer and gender creative and gender fluid. There are all these big words.
Yeah, and big words are part of what I call the PhD method, the pile higher and deeper method. It's when idiots who know that their ideas are bunk invent a ton of ridiculous, complicated sounding words in hopes that they sound intelligent and nobody figures out how stupid they really are.
There are a lot of different words like this to choose from. and I'm still figuring out what words feel right for me. And that's totally okay.
Yeah, you can call yourself whatever you want, but once again, you can't make me live in your fantasy world.
It's okay to be questioning parts of your identity, especially when you're a kid, but also when you're a grown-up like me.
When you're a kid, you should be learning to sing the ABCs and add and subtract. You should be enjoying your time as a kid and not dementing yourself with this ridiculous notion that what you believe can somehow change reality. In fact, these kind of lessons have already been shown to scare and confuse otherwise normal, healthy children.
Parents are not happy with the Rocklin Charter School Academy for having transgender discussions in a kindergarten class.
Kindergartners came home very confused about whether or not you can pick your gender, whether or not they really were a boy or a girl.
My daughter went home crying, shaking, so afraid that she could turn into a boy.
Parts of your identity can totally change as you get to know yourself better. It's taken me a really long time to figure out this part of my identity, and I think I'm getting a little bit closer, but I still don't really know what it means.
But once again, Lindsay, if your identity changes over time, how can you know that you're getting closer to your real identity, whatever that means? Thanks for debunking yourself in your own video.
Not knowing about a part of your identity can be confusing and scary sometimes, but it's just another part of the process.
My guess is that most of the kids out there were not confused about their identity. Well, before you got to them, that is. That's why if I were a parent, I would absolutely want your videos age restricted on YouTube.
Questioning parts of your identity can be scary, but you're not alone. Some people know and understand their identities right away.
Yeah, we call these people sane individuals who accept reality as it is, not as they'd like it to be.
But for other people, it can be a slow process. But both those are totally okay.
Which means you're totally okay with my identity as a magic unicorn. Right, Lindsay?
Thanks for listening and being patient with me while I figure this out. I'll give you and Teddy an update on what's going on with my gender when I figure out some more answers.
Tell you what, Lindsay, I'll make you a bet. If you suddenly wake up with a penis between then and now, I'll retract everything I've said so far. How about that?
For now, you can use she and they pronouns when you're talking about me.
I'll use whatever pronouns for you I want. And you know what? There's nothing you can do about it.
What parts of your identity do you know right away, and what parts do you still have questions about?
Well, as I said before, I am 100% sure I have a penis between my legs, and nothing that I believe can change that.
What are your pronouns today?
I told you already, Lindsay. You will address me as His Royal Majesty, the Emperor of Narnia.
They might be different from tomorrow. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll see you next time at Queer Kid Stuff.
And with that, Lindsay gives us a salute and promises us that she'll be back. The truth is, I fully support Lindsay's right to voice her opinions. That's what free speech means. However, parents also have a right to protect their children from potentially harmful information before they're old enough to be able to process it. That's why movies and TV shows have ratings and why YouTube has age restrictions in the first place. Ironically, videos posted by Prayer University regularly get age restricted despite having no vulgar content, while Lindsay's videos are free for any child to watch. As I make this, the petition to get YouTube to age restrict Queer Kid Stuff needs just over 2,000 signatures to go forward. If you agree with me that kids don't need to be watching Queer Kid Stuff without their parents' permission, please sign it. That's my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. Thanks everyone for watching. If you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe. To follow me on Twitter, minds.com, or VidMe, check out the links in the description. If you'd like to hear my 2 cents on any topic, leave a comment below or send me a direct message. There's going to be more videos coming, so stay tuned.